If you like going to water parks or swimming in public pools, there's probably poop in it. And that poop does contain certain parasites that could lead you to getting extremely sick for several weeks or, in rare occasions, death. Now, this is known as cryptosporidium. And cryptosporidium is a type of parasite. There are different types of cryptosporidium, but it usually does come from fecal matter. And if you ingest it in any way, you will be extremely sick for several weeks. Now, outbreaks of cryptosporidium doubled between 2014 and 2016. Crypto is the most common cause of diarrheal illness, and outbreaks linked to swimming pools and water playgrounds because it's not easily killed by chlorine and can survive up to 10 days in properly treated water. Now, if you're wondering why are you telling us about this story, okay? It's not a big deal. That many people aren't being affected by it. Apparently there was a huge outbreak in Milwaukee, and scientists are still trying to figure out exactly where that outbreak came from. Here's a short video from the Animal Planet. They did a really interesting piece on this, and you'll kind of get a better idea of what this parasite is and just how bad it can get. Take a look.
More than a decade after tainted water infected 400,000 Milwaukee residents with a killer parasite, the source of the infection remains a mystery. For City Health Commissioner Paul Nannis, the prime suspects have long been local cattle.
Cryptosporidium is extremely common in cattle, so it's very plausible that runoff from a farm could carry cryptosporidium and put it into a water supply.
We had a lot of snow, a lot of runoff. A lot of runoff came from those dairy farms.
The prevailing theory is that melting snow accelerated the runoff of contaminated cattle feces. This could have caused a mass of cryptosporidium to flow into the rivers that feed the water system.
So hold on, I gotta give you the update, okay? Because we didn't have time to show you the entire video, so let me summarize what happened. So scientists still have human fecal matter from that whole thing that happened over a decade ago in Milwaukee, right? And so they can still continue to study it to kind of find the origin of where the cryptosporidium came from. So in that video, it appears that it might have been from runoff and the cattle's fecal matter somehow got into the drinking water. But through the research that the scientists have done, they found that it actually originated from a human. So, I mean, that's just a little bit of trivia if you care, but fact of the matter is, little kids, if they get sick and they have diarrhea and they go into the pool, it's likely that that parasite will contaminate the pool, and if you're unlucky enough to ingest any of it, you too will get extremely sick. The parasite attaches to the lining of the small bowel, and of course your body tries to flush it out, and that's where the diarrhea comes from, and it leads to severe dehydration in some cases, and then possibly death.
And possibly death. Okay, so we'll have the link to the whole video in the description box for you guys. But I know it's a super serious story, but I was amused by several things in it nonetheless. First of all, let's just all acknowledge that fecal matter is one of the most unfortunate phrases in the English language. Okay, and closely followed by cattle feces. They think the source was cattle feces.
That's worse.
Yeah, and it looked like it was showing some sort of cow gonads in the water or something at the end there. I didn't understand what was happening. Okay, and then I like how many times Anna said cryptosporidium because she was proud she could pronounce it, right? And I'm surprised I did it right there. And cryptosporidium sounds like some sort of weapon that the Klingons invented.
Yes.
And we're all in a lot of trouble if James T. Kirk does not, disarm it. And finally, to end all of my nonsense points, parasites sound so scary to me. Anything that's a parasite, I'm like, no, not the parasites.
Yeah, truth. Parasites are incredibly savvy, if that makes any sense. Like, look, I know this.
If I could describe them.
Yeah, like the parasite's
No, okay, so let me.
I got an idea.
I did an informative speech on parasites when I was on the speech and debate team, okay? And it won a gold medal, not a big deal. This is when I was in high school, but I was competing with college students, not a big deal. But here's the thing, there's one parasite, I'll never forget this. There's one parasite that will go into a fish's mouth, eat the fish's tongue, and then take the place of the fish's tongue. And so every time the fish wants to eat, right? that parasite will actually eat up or ingest all of the food, and then that fish withers away and dies. And then the parasite's even stronger, and then he goes and does the same thing to another fish. How badass is that?
I don't know, your reenactment of it was pretty great.
Yeah. It sounded like a Game of Thrones movie.
Yeah. They're smart, they're savvy.
I don't know who's putting their kids in the pool, 2 days after them having diarrhea to where this happens. Like, is that the post-diarrhea activity, is just to go swimming?
Okay, let me tell you, as a parent, yes. Okay, now, like, I'm kidding, we don't do that, I think. But like, are you kidding me? Like, yeah, parents aren't keeping track. They're too busy like tracking diarrhea and when you should go, and the kids screaming, but everybody else is in the pool, everybody else is in the pool. Oh, sure, then you throw them in there, and right? So no, people aren't being careful at all. And I didn't know, and then there's like, you have to really watch out for, they explain that for kids under the age of 5,
right?
Because they don't wipe well.
God. And then, why go to a public pool? It sounds so terrible.
Yeah, I know, but it's hot and people want to go and they don't have that, of course.
Hose yourself off, man. You don't want cryptosporidium.
Right.
Been around
Leave it for the Klingons, okay? Although ironically, the problem here is Klingons. They cling on to the kid's butt, and then it washes off into the pool.
Right.
And then anyone who swallows the pool water at all gets the cryptosporidium, and then.
Right. And it lives apparently for 10 days in well-treated pool water.
I know.
So imagine,
Yeah.
If you're a member of the Young Turks, you not only get the whole 2-hour Young Turks show on demand anytime you want, ad-free, but you also get so many other shows. Old School, you'll love it. Aggressive Progressive for guys who are true progressives. Now also Nerd Alert for gaming and tech. What the Flick for movie reviews. You will love it. Check it out right now at tytnetwork.com/join.